Hello and welcome to Joburg Today. My name is Dumin Hlapo, bringing you the best of what's going down in and around Johannesburg. The 2016 Architect Africa Film Festival kicks off today and promises to bring nothing but the best alternative experiences and views on film, international architecture and urbanism. Check this out.
50% of the world's population lives in cities. And so architecture, planning and the development of cities affects us all. And so what we're trying to do through the film festival is to engage stakeholders, citizens and built environment professionals in conversation. And that's why we've chosen the theme, Design is Universal, Global, Local. And it's really about feeling universal, thinking globally and acting locally in exploring the challenges and opportunities around our cities and built environment.
And what makes this film festival unique?
Well, this year we've decided to use the power of film as an ever increasingly accessible medium for people to bring to the fore these issues around sustainability, social issues, cultural matters, and of course in an economic downturn, discussing how this affects city development. And so we're bringing out 2 international filmmakers who will be introducing their films at the film festival. And we've also got a panel discussion that's happening in conjunction with the University of Johannesburg's Graduate School of Architecture. And we're bringing out architects from around Africa together with South African architects to discuss and debate issues around architecture and what makes it relevant.
And this year's film festival will see the largest number of African films being actually exhibited.
Well, this year for the first time we've created a call for entries to try and source content that was new or that had not had a platform for being viewed in a public forum before. And I think it's been very useful for us and for the filmmakers from 2 points of view. Firstly, we've come into contact with content that otherwise we would never have known about. And secondly, it's allowed emerging young and student filmmakers to showcase their productions in a much more public way.
And are there any films about Johannesburg in the menu?
Yes, we have 2 films about Johannesburg. The first one is our opening film, which is City Futures, and that looks at encouraging stakeholders and citizens to view their neighborhoods and the development of their neighborhoods differently. And then we also have Fictions en route City by a student filmmaker, Gao Mashego. And then we have a number of films from around South Africa and from the rest of Africa. We've got the Vele Secondary School, which is set in the Limpopo province. We have Excuse Me While I Disappear, which is looking at the development of a new city in Angola. And then finally, The Regenerates, which looks at urban regeneration.
So I'm just wondering, what makes these films unique?
We're showing films from student filmmakers who are dealing with animation and explorative ways of filmmaking and looking at architecture, to things that look at quite serious subjects, global capitalism, global economic development, how the sort of rapid development of cities has affected the people who live there. So one of our flagship films, Ecumenopolis, looks at the development that took place in Istanbul very rapidly and how people, generally poorer people, were displaced. And then we've got films that look at urban sustainability and how buildings can start being designed to give back. And then we've got films that profile various architects. So I think the one that springs to mind the most is Perween Rahman, The Rebel Optimist, which looks at a woman who was an activist and an architect in Karachi and her work with the urban poor, and how in the end that cost her life.
Like us on Facebook, JoburgToday.tv, and follow us on Twitter at Joburg Today. Independent films are often ignored by major movie theatre chains and need specialised outlets to be screened. The Bioscope Independent Cinema provides Johannesburg with a venue for these films to be shared.
We are here at the Bioscope in Maboneng Precinct, the only independent cinema in the whole of Johannesburg, and we're joining them for their Nuru Box night. Let's go check it out.
The Bioscope is Johannesburg's only truly independent cinema. We're one indoor cinema, 62 seats, and we screen every night of the week. Tickets, popcorn, the whole deal. We started it, myself and my business partner Daryl Els, being two film students. Daryl wrote his thesis on whether or not there was space for an independent cinema in Johannesburg. Me, being his friend, thought that was interesting, and together we started. We started as a screening project, and then by 2010 we had the opportunity to find the actual space and actually build a permanent cinema, which was a very exciting time. We've found that we're able to give local content a real place to exist. We found that interesting documentaries that really appeal to sort of a niche audience could really find a successful home at the Bioscope. Stuff that evokes debate around issues that people care about. And then we also found a place for fun stuff, the flexibility to go back, to play cult content.
The Bioscope's actually got Noodle Box Cinema showing tonight. I'm a big fan. I love cheesy B-grade martial arts movies, and they come thick and fast at the Bioscope, so that's why we're here this evening.
Another thing that makes the Bioscope special is what we call signature events, the Bioscope signature events. Our most famous and most long-running signature event is something called Noodle Box Cinema. We go to Cyril Dean to get the noodles. We're very proud of the guys who make them. We're at the moment going back to kind of very cheesy 80s kung fu movies. Imagine watching kung fu movies and eating noodles at the same time.
So if you're hungry for a little bit of fun and a change of scenery, then you know exactly where to go. I'm Butumela Ratokwena for Joburg Today.
What's up, y'all? This is Leanne Lamini, and you're watching Joburg Today.
That's all for today. For more on the city, do check out our playlist. From myself, Dumi Tlapo, and the Joburg Today crew, it's goodbye.